Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask Fran Art Stream. It's a me, Master Fran, and it's been nearly 2 weeks, and I have yet to finish up part 2 of this pixel art tutorial, but here I am in Unity Engine proper, kind of just fiddling around with an older build that I had, mostly to test out tile maps and things like that. And I'm going to be fast and loose with, kind of just explaining how you import sprites and work with characters. So, hope everyone's doing well. I am kind of like in this weird, workmanship type thing. Just, fast and loose. I was spending most of the morning kind of just readjusting my get myself got ready. So, this is the Unity engine. I am currently working on Black Mass with a programmer friend, and we're currently making this game in Unity. Let's see if I can have my controller plugged in. No, I don't. But this ain't the right build for it. But yeah, I mean, currently we're working on. My programmer is supposed to meet up with me later tonight, so that's why I'm probably gonna cut this stream short. So let's at least walk people through the UI for anyone who's completely unfamiliar. This spot right here is the hierarchy panel. This is where you will have your game assets in. This is where you probably have your player character, your background elements, your actual backgrounds, proper program assets, and things like that. This spot, which where you're going to be working on the most, is the project panel. This is basically the Windows folder, or the actual Unity folder in Unity, your actual folder in your computer. If you right click any file and click Show in Explorer, you will basically get your Windows window, which is going to be relevant much later. So I just let you know that that's going to be right there. But yes, this is basically where you're going to be drag and dropping most of your stuff here. If I want to, I can get all my stuff right here, have my export sprite sheets. I'm going to explain to you how to export sprites from Aseprite much later. I can just take this, drag and drop, bada boom, it's inside, and it's even in the sheet right here up by extra large icons, and you'll see a duplicate right here. So that's pretty nice, and this is going to be relevant also much later because you'll be able to edit those files as you see fit. So let's go back to Aseprite actually and kind of talk about how you actually get sprites out of Aseprite. So last time we've been, or at least last time I've been working on Aseprite, I was kind of just showing you how to get basic sprites down, where you'll make an idle, a basic walk, and a basic jump. And compared to the last time, and it was kind of like this is the first pass of it, and then I polished it on the second pass. And that's basically how I was able to work with stuff. And I added a new crouch animation. I'd say it's good for a platform to have a crouch. You press down, hit down, reduce your hitbox. And it's pretty good with that. This is the older thing. Okay. But yes, we have all the makings of a good platform. And one thing that I kind of realized compared to last time is I got rid of the gaps in between all my frames because I used to have a frame gap in it, and then I just realized I'm experimenting with a Aseprite and just seeing how it handles frame stuff, and I figured, okay, this ain't gonna work with Aseprite unit, but that's irrelevant. Here, we're going to be exporting a basic platformer sprite here. So, you're going to go into File, click Export, and click Export Sprite Sheets. And you can hit the shortcut key Control E, and you're able to see a basic preview of everything here. You'll have the idle, the walk cycle, the crouch, and the jump. And a lot of these are unselected, so I'm gonna show you what it would look like by default. And you can see there's a giant long line that gets every frame in your animation. And as cool as this is, it's not needed, especially when you're going to be importing those same frames. You're noticing doubles. So, you don't really need the doubles because you're going to use that double to do drawings on two that'll hold onto a frame for 2 frames. So, you will select these. You'll select these checks, click Merge Duplicates, and Merge Ignore Empty. And this will reduce all the copies and stuff like that. Click that, reduces the duplicates. And you'll also get rid of the space to compress it to something more helpful to us. So, sheet type you can set up by rows, vertical strip, columns, packed. Packed is mostly for if you want to export it for probably the most maximum texture efficiency with that. That's mostly so it just automatically just sets up your frame. I usually don't do this. I usually just have it by rows, or have it by rows, just so it'll separate itself by the tags. And here we're going to select split by tags, and then it'll be split by the animation actions that you have. So you'll have the walk animation or the idle animation. And you have the 3 walk animations. So it's the idle plus the 3 other frames of walking. So that's all 4 together. Then you have the crouch idle, and then you have the jump animation, the land animation. And that's basically all the stuff you need. You can even select it so you only have certain tags. So you can select it for walk, select it for crouch, select it for jump. And that's actually a new practice that I've been kind of teaching myself, to have actions separated by have a sprite sheet separated by tags, so it's easier to edit any new adjustments in the future. But for now, for just a small amount of animations, you can basically work with all frames. You only have 7 drawings here that you can just do a decent platformer game. So we're gonna rock that. Oh yes, one more thing. You're going to set the border padding and spacing by 2 pixels. And this is a thing that my programmer tells me that is helpful for importing in Unity specifically. So any time you're importing sprites into Unity, you won't have the slices collide into each other. For me. That. Then we will select Trim Sprite, and we will select the Trim by Grid. I believe, yes. You select Trim Sprite, and then the Trim by Grid will arrive, and it'll separate far enough that it'll make it easier to trim the sprite as we go. And as we go, we will then be able to check output file. And this is where we can basically just select where we can, put our stuff in. So we're gonna call this something memorable. So call it platformer character, or call him blue platformer character. And bada boom, they're exported. You can go back to your folder that you have your Aseprite saved in, and you'll have it right here. And right there for your help, and they're in transparent sprite sheets at their actual proper scale. I'll explain how you can export animations for, export to web and things like that. For now, this is for game engines. So, how we're going to import this into Unity is quite straightforward. So, in Unity, you have your building. I could probably select this eyeball thing in your hierarchy, and you'll be able to hide and unhide objects as you see. Nice way of just hiding all your stuff. And I'd probably just keep the camera open so everyone can see. Boom, boom. Oh yes, one more reminder that if I'm going too fast, don't feel bad about dropping a answer in the comments. Hey Sean, how's it going? Am I recording a tutorial? Yes, I am indeed recording a tutorial. This is basically me kind of just going through part 2 of my tutorial on how you're going to import sprites into Unity Engine. I've recently started learning a bit about like how you're importing to other engines. An RPG, that's for a different task, right? But for now, I'm going to just explain how to tackle you. So let's get to it. Let me take a drink real quick. Maybe I'll have the. Well, anyway, that'll be working. So, as usual, you will be able to drag and drop your picture straight from your Windows folder to your Unity project folder. And it's nice and straightforward. It's preferable that you do this through the actual Unity program than you do that through like the inspector, because it's kind of weird. But you will have your project inspector here. This nice and happy with that. And you're going to notice that this is going to be kind of blurry. So, one thing that you will need to do in order to keep your sprites from looking like a blurry mess, and I should probably demonstrate this. So, rolling back, let's talk about creating a new object in the game. So, you're going to right-click in the hierarchy menu, click Create Empty, and game object will call you Platform Man, because use platform, and you can name this however you like, and that's kind of how that's going to go. You're going to click Add Component. What you're going to look for is a sprite renderer. Oh yes, in the inspector to your right, you're going to click this menu called Add Component, and it'll create a search bar. You will type in a search bar, and you're going to look for Sprite Renderer. And this is called Sprite Renderer. And this is where you can drag your sprite here. And actually, these sprites actually aren't part yet. So, we should probably at least work with these sprites actually. So, back to working on your actual sprites from your project folder. You're going to select the larger sprite asset, which is the actual texture. And if you click out, you'll see, just little sprites here, but you're not going to deal with that later. You're going to be clicking on the asset, and it'll pop up this menu in the inspector. If it's unselected, this will be blank. You got to remember to select it. So you're going to set up your sprite mode to be in multiples because it's multiple pieces of a sprite. You're going to select pixels per unit and put it at 16 because this is on a grid of 16 by 16 squares. So go back to the Aseprite, you'll notice everything's 16 by 16 squares. That will take things back to its actual proper scale limit. Mesh type, you can leave that alone. Wrap mode, leave that alone. Filter mode, click point no filter, because otherwise you'll just turn it blurry. And you don't want it blurry, you want those actual sprites because you want it to actually correct. You will select in the I think this is the default pane. In the resize algorithm, you're going to choose bilinear. And then in compression, you're going to choose no compression because, again, this is pixel art. Then you're going to click all this and click apply, and your pixel art will be in the proper pixels. All right, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, Sean. Oh yes, back to this. And you're going to click Sprite Editor up here. So, and here's where you're actually going to be working with these sprite sheets here. So now you're going to be slicing and trimming these sprites so they work in they can be separate sprites for your actual animations. So you can either have it automatically slice where the pinet's at its center. I've also set up so it's it by cell count. So if you, and let me nudge this out some more so everyone can see here. If you select, oh, come on. It's like, okay. If you select slice by type and select grid by cell count, you'll need to count the number of cells that this has. So 1, 2, 3 across. So this would be 3 columns. And then you'll see on 3 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. Do it on 4 rows. And you'll probably have the pivot at the bottom. Usually it's by default the center. So actually, I'm not going to mess with that. For this tutorial, you're just going to have the pivot point at the center because, you can always readjust it as you go. And you're going to select slice. Everything will be in its proper pieces with minor overlap, which is strange, actually. Is it like that? Oh, it is correct. Technically, this is correct. It's just the pixels are. But we can work with this much later. For now, you can select apply, and now all your pixels are in pieces. Just X out the tile map. And we'll to work with our sprites in pieces. So, back to Platform Man from the inspector. In the sprite renderer, you can drag your idle animation to the sprite texture, and bada boom, here it is. Hit here, and you can just see him in his glorious state. So far, so good with that. We have a basic character sprite. Component, you'll be able to add an animation. We'll right click, click animation, and I probably skipped a lot. Yes, back in the inspector at the bottom, you'll add another component. Drop down the sprite and click add another component. You're going to type in to make animation, not animator. That's going to be rocking with that. And this menu is the animation menu. And by default, this is not going to be open. So you'll probably need to do some important stuff in animator. But yes, you're going to be, if you don't have your animation window open by default, you can always go to Window, Animation, and Animation panel. Open up right in the bottom. So, once you've got that down, you can again select Platform Man in your Unity, either in the Unity hierarchy menu or just in the scene screen itself. Then you'll be able to click Create. And you can name this, your current animation action. So for me, I'm going to be naming this idle. And this will just be his idle animation. Pretty easy. Just drag his idle frame that you want as his idle frame. And it will not loop. And you can create... Go into the drop-down menu of this animation panel. You can create more clips. Create new clip. Right here. Call it a walk. And you'll be able to get the character to walk. And you'll be able to just drag and drop the frames that you want, including repeat frames. See, you can just mess around with that. And I'm not sure why you're not playing. Why aren't you playing? Because you should be playing. Is this a sprite renderer? To be just a sprite. Why aren't you playing preview? You should be able to just play. I think I know what's up. Need to add that last frame so it can loop. Right. No. Well, I've encountered something that's a problem. Like going crazy. Maybe if I add some more clips, that'll work. Jump. Frame for jumping. Create a new clip. Land. And make sure you title it correctly. Will be landing. And a new animation clip for crouching. So we have all the proper clips and animations for a proper character. And in this drop down menu to basically walk around and play these as you see fit. And you can reduce the sample rate to 30 frames a second for animation, or reduce it to 50 so you can actually see. And this should be. One thing that I'm struggling to figure out is why on earth it's not playing. Yeah, that's kind of the tough thing. I tried doing these tutorials. There's still so much that I still haven't yet. Thank you. Here. Faults. Not supposed to. Oh, crap! I messed up here. Now, why on earth does it not say? Clip. Am I going crazy? Let me compare you to the other platform man. To figure out what I did wrong here. Oh, you don't even have animations, do you? Oh, then. I done goofed, didn't I? You know, that's kind of the tough thing. So, I think I need to come back to this another. But that is how it goes. But I can show you how to import alterations to your animation. I should put it fucking silent. Holy fuck. You know, you try to set up your life, and life tends to just get in the way. And that's kind of just how that goes. You kind of need to get yourself set up with the unexpected. If you have all these plans, things just aren't going right. Well. So yeah. So if you want to do something like update your character to be like a different color, so give it like alternate palette, or better yet, it would probably be faster to just this here. Yep, readjust the entire palette, so just use the fill tool. So click fill tool and uncheck continuous, and you'll be able to fill on every instance of that color. And I'd say that's a default digital painting, digital art program type thing. I'd say everything has it. So you're able to just fill this, and if everything's correct, you can basically just save this. And you know what? I'll probably just make it dark, just so a bit more contrast. Here we have just, you know, our default black mask green here. Control S, and then we'll have it right here. And we'll just put this at extra large. See our extra large frames, and you can see that the sprite sheet is recolored. So, one fun thing about this is that you can load in sprites in the same Unity folder that your project's in. So, if you were doing something like this, where you were creating a Unity folder, you can right-click Show in Explorer. You can actually overwrite this file, old file. So if you both have them as the same names, you can drag and drop this new one to the old one, update it, and update it automatically. And if it doesn't update, click refresh or Control R. Automatically updates that sprite, even right down to the sprite sheets. That's pretty fantastic for that. Now then, you can also do that if you're completely remaking a sprite. So if you were, say, having a completely different character, say, doing something like I know. Probably doing a platformer character like this. You know what? To make him distinct. No. Baby. But yeah, you'll be exporting that. Export this as a sprite sheet. You'll have your default exports here. Export you. Now you'll have a new character here. Bring you back to the other Unity file here, and you can overwrite that. This baby character will go to the actual proper Unity thing. But oh no, it's vanished. What's up with that? So, turns out, Sprite Editor got all wonky. Everything's kind of in the wrong spot. Plus, it's missing a friend. So, interestingly enough, you'll have to reslice it down to 2. So, let's see. 2 columns, 4 rows. The existing, and now everything's actually its proper thing, and I believe it's also much smaller. Click apply, and everything should be correct again, right down to all of your animations that you need. So this is actually pretty convenient for me as a artist and stuff like that. I believe the walks are also just altered too. If I can find you and let's see. Oh, oh yeah. You should be more proper. And I still don't know why you're not changing. This is supposed to be the sprite. The sprite's supposed to move as you. Maybe I'm just going insane. Maybe I've kind of just gaslit myself into this. Well. But that is what it is with that. And yeah, I mean, this is the rough way that you can get your stuff working in Unity. I think I'll do a new tutorial where everything's actually going smoother. I'll be able to go through the actual proper issues. This tutorial is, I guess, still in flux, but I believe the information's sound. Of course, there's other more advanced things like setting up the sprite so it actually works on button presses and things like that, and diving into the animator list and parameters and stuff like that. But that's a lot of the programmer stuff, and I'll learn that as I go. The tough thing about, I guess, doing tutorials and making tutorials is the more you kind of just research and find out what's up, the more you realize that you're not absolutely 100% knowledgeable about every subject that you got, and that most animation stuff that you think you know, you actually don't know. And I sometimes question whether or not I am a good source of information. So it's kind of one of those things where I think, I shouldn't be doing so many tutorials until I get more knowledgeable. And I'd say that's a conundrum for, I'd say, most first time people do tutorials. I mean, I've done other tutorials. I'd say my most popular piece is, fixing my Wacom tablet. But a lot of this stuff is, I'm showing knowledge that I know and realizing I don't know everything. Thinking, I don't 100% know what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, I think for now, I'll probably cool down on the tutorial stuff for now. Probably just get back to just working on some art stuff. I should be expecting my programmer to chat now. I think I'll just take a break and change to just doing some default art. I mean, I apologize for not doing more pixel art, but I say today is more of a hang back and wait until I actually speak with my program before I figure out what I actually want to do pixel art stuff right now. There isn't a lot of significant pixel art things that I want to be doing. So I'll take a break, step away for a bit, and I'll be doing some regular drawing. So I'll be right back. Hello, y'all, and we're back. Welcome to the second part of the art stream run. Just going to be working on normal art. And if you're expecting a tutorial, you missed it. And you'll probably have to come back on the pod, or even just check out the proper streaming, proper stream bot stuff. But for now, I'm just going to be working on art until I get in contact with the programmer, or until it hits late enough, or until I finish this. So, I guess I should probably explain what this picture setup is. So, these are a picture of the Fox Thieves from Black Mask. That, it's kind of like some key art, where it's kind of just a collection of just all the enemies just together as basically a character class. So the reason I kind of just had this, these were all actual separate ink drawings. I was like, you know what? I should at least put them together, be more of a colored thing, and make this much better. And I've actually been working on this for, I'd say, since last year, and I kind of just fell off it. And one thing that I kind of have a really, really garbage habit of doing is I keep starting things and not finishing them. Even though it would probably be easy as hell to just get them finished sometimes. And I need to analyze why I do this. Sometimes I kind of just feel like sometimes I kind of just feel like I'm failing you all, like whoever's watching, my audience or whatever, that I keep making these proposals for cool sketch ideas, and I completely just don't deliver on them for maybe weeks or months. And what brush is this? Paintbrush? The default brush, but what? Oh, lip. And I've kind of just felt like well, it's not that I've kind of felt like that. I've always felt like that, where I kind of like, I'm like, yes, I'm going to work on a million different things, being ambitious about all the cool stuff that I want to draw. And I never get around drawing that cool stuff because I'm crazy. And that is absolutely a problem where don't form the habit of finishing art, because that's kind of what matters is finishing art. Making a million different sketches and not finishing any of them because you're too ADHD or too perfectionist to finish it. And I get on myself for this. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that I don't finish art more regularly. I mean, I do finish art, but I'm also frequently dissatisfied with what I draw. That also contributes to me not liking the art I make, is that I kind of just see my art, the fact that I never finish it. I'm like, don't finish shit, right? Why don't you? And the most likely answer is I'm probably scared of finishing it. It's probably it. Like, I'm so I think the fact that I don't like finishing art probably demonstrates that I am a perfectionist, because I'm like, oh, this ink drawing is already perfect because you already inked it. It's already correct in its default state, and there's no reason to go forward with that. And that's not 100% true, and you know it, right? You can always dive into. I lose it, We'll just paint the nose. And I keep falling into this comparison loop because I do that. That's kind of just how I go. What in the app? Oh, what? Oh, that's weird. Huh. That's weird. I think I found some error in my drawing that I didn't realize. Ugh, that's a million different things that I think that's probably a problem with my art style is I keep crushing my lines to be like, okay, no aliasing no matter what. We're not anti-aliasing for shit. And it makes it look gritty. In my art style, it looks like the typical comic book art style, but that like makes it look more amateurish. I don't know. So that's probably contributes to why I'm not as satisfied with my artwork to be. And here's like some fun little fog style things. Great out of the scene. Fog some other places. For now, I think I got these background foxes a done enough state. Got this fox. Now all that's left are just these front foxes. Let's work on that. One thing that I have a bad habit of is not just saying, this is enough, oh, let it go, dipshit. And of course, I can always just get rid of it. Go. Okay. One thing that's I've also been trying to force myself to do, make more background. So I'm trying to get more backgrounds going, get more. It's just out there. Boom. Shade. And we'll just go down much bluer and just get started working on basics of shading. And how I tackle shading is mostly just me not know what the fuck I'm actually doing until I'm just doing it. And I understand basic things like lighting, shading, proper rendering and stuff like that. And yet, for some reason, I lose confidence. I feel like I'm feeling some hard performance anxiety when, this should actually be white. I don't know why this ain't white in the flat. That's also another thing is I rush so much of my art that I can probably see how much it kind of contributes to how much I'm not doing right as opposed to being to rush all the damn time. And I always feel like time is running out frequent. Like I never have enough time to do stuff, or I never feel like I'm doing enough. Saturate. These look cute. It's tired eyes. Dark makeup. This looks good. Alright. And I realized the first kind of just, and I'm like, do I fix this or do I just let it just with the fact that I'm an amateur artist? That's kind of just a tough choice to make overall, is let a mistake ride in your traditional art, or try to fix it and go on a long freaking unreasonable streak of working at it until it either looks worse or it looks remotely better. If this is supposed to be a more of like a large cylinder, paintbrush. Hey, I'm being insane again. Oh, it's being insane. Ugh. It's supposed to be simple cell shading, you know. I kind of don't want to work on. Coloring's always the hardest. Well, not the hardest part, but the most unenjoyable part of making art. I don't like coloring. Like, I've been debating with myself whether or not to just keep it flat too. I just realized that Fox doesn't even have his tail parts here, which is a pain in the keister. I use a lot of feathering and just long lines in my brush work because I'm so used to Copic markers forcing me to feather that that's kind of just how I do my blend. So used to feathering, ink art, sketch art. Kind of funny because one second. Earlier. Well, I probably won't a program, which is fine. That just means I rushed through my stream too fast. But honestly, the stream was kind of like going crap anyway. Like, I need to be myself. And start it. Figure out. All right. Probably have this closing. This maybe. Trying to be more like it's going up, down. Man, I'm just going nuts. Ugh. So far, so good with this. It's funny. This looks like a simple drawing, and yet I feel like once I'm actually taking the time to work on it, it's going pretty easy. Actually, guess I'm just that much lazy shit that I just don't want to work on tough drawings. So why is that? To psychologically analyze myself, find out why is it that I just have trouble just completing art tablet. I mean, let's break it down as me right now. I just figure out what's kind of just blocking. So perfectionism, that's definitely like I sometimes feel like I have to be in a on mode whenever I'm working digital as opposed to traditionally. It's like, oh, it's traditional. It doesn't matter. Like I'm so used to just drawing a million stuff on paper that I don't even think about whether or not I suck at drawing on paper. As opposed to digital, where I feel like, oh, right, I'm coloring it, which means this has a count. I think what contributes to that is the fact that I'm seeing everyone else's digital art and they're able to do so much stuff that I have no idea how they do. Like I don't understand blending, I don't understand how they like let up their stuff there. I feel like they use a line in this that that feels, I don't know, well, not weak, but kind of like it's so thin that I can't. I guess my brain can't accept it. Like I've seen, I think pencil thin lines, like people able to work on lines that are just near like razor thin. Let me see, like less than one, and they're able to just work off of that. Meanwhile, I'm kind of like, I just cannot go that thin. It just looks so, I just uninteresting to me. But then it's kind of like, no, that's not the point of the thin line art because you're gonna be coloring it anyway. Then they color, they do this coloring stuff. It's supposed to look, yeah. You color it, looks totally fine. Probably like you this, but working off of that, they're able to, whoa, that was saturated. Be able to do stuff like this and cell shaded stuff like that. Working stuff like that, and they're able to do things like this with really good rim heading. Meanwhile, It looks super okay. It looks like a fucking line. Then it'll probably like do look like this. And this would probably be more of a bluish highlight. This. That's how the rim light would work. It looks better. It looks pretty good. Thing is, I guess I just don't like the render like that for some reason. But why? Why don't I like painting on the tablet? Why don't I like it? Yeah. Select. Ugh. I also noticed that this pants line art is in black, which I think this was supposed to be this color. Let me see. Yep. Ugh. That's one thing that I've kind of did to learn to do to mitigate, I guess, the crushing grittiness of line art is I decided to color my lines. It's something, I guess. I don't know. I feel like nobody really likes my thicker line style sometimes. I was kind of like, yeah, it's right there, and then, no, it's right there. It's kind of like, oh, you shouldn't compare yourself. I always compare myself. Otherwise, like, what am I doing? Like, how do I even know that I'm even doing fine? You know? So that's one of those tougher things that kind of just harm me mentally, but I live with it. It also doesn't help that I don't really have a trustworthy talk with my bad feelings. Like I don't really think any community. Like I kind of just feel alone in most places. Like Discord, I kind of just feel alone. Or at conventions, I feel alone in the crowd. Twitter, I just feel like no one of intelligence is on Twitter. Honestly, I don't think there's much to talk about social media. It's kind of like, oh, you have like someone post nice art, and the most you can really say is, yeah, cool. And can't really just think of anything interesting to say. Sometimes I feel like nobody else has anything interesting to say either. We're all kind of just making nice platitudes, I suppose. I don't know. Ugh. Like, I don't feel like I'm significantly life changing. It's just most of my work. It's kind of like, oh, I have a typical cartoon style. It's like, oh, a lot of people like that. Yeah, but I've never been a cartoon, so it's not like it's super important. Like, animating, but not really. Pixel art. I kind of wonder if I even enjoy pixel art at all because, wow, pixel art's there and I like pixel art. It's not like my most gigantic super passion. Like, it's not passionate enough for me that I can just casually do, I guess, in my pixel art program. Like, I don't like it as much as I like using my sketchbook. Like, I like brainstorming, doodling in my sketchbook, taking my brain away from the garbage of, I guess, life. Where you kind of just don't need to worry about making good art instead of just making art. And kind of just noticing that. So much. I just need to shut up and draw. It's easier for me. Do less thinking, just get to just the drawing. It's pondering. Just go back to meditating. And you can enjoy some Castlevania X. When's the last time I've actually sat down and listened? Let's see. I mean, there was one, like, I guess, Mars 64 Tool album. The Andre 3000 flute album. Not much. Not much. Yeah. I've actually realized I've mostly just spent most of my summer just inside. I think last night I went outside. I went to a concert with, and enjoyed to that friend of mine. And that was pretty nice. Did that, like, went outside with. And mostly kind of just been inside. I've been playing Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. That's nice. Just relive that. Yeah, I'm up to chapter 5, or at least I'm on Keel Hall with the pirate skeleton ghost, which is kind of funny in context of Paper Mario, where it's like you're leaving the first ghost area to go to another technically ghost area. It's more of a jungle area, but really you're dealing with pirate ghosts, where it's kind of like, yeah, pirate ghost, more ghosts, even though you're like teaming up with like a ghost, Vivian. You're kind of just dealing with all that. It's kind of funny. Kind of a funny coincidence with that. So, been doing that. I'm kind of just enjoying playing Paper Mario. I started doing this weird partial low level run where I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Why? I'm doing kind of this partial low level run where I'm going on low HP and trying to just force myself to learn how to super guard everything. And so far, it's been pretty decent. I'm getting better at super guarding. It's just I keep just going down in like seconds because I'm not as good with super guards as I'd like to be. But I am mostly depending on just my badges to just help me do as much damage as possible. One thing that I like about Mario RPGs is that you don't have to depend on your levels in order to make powerful progress. Like if you're really good, your action commands, you could basically just do a really good low level run, and no one can really bat an eye at you because you're kind of just rocking that. Okay. If you're like a cone, probably would be. Oh no, you'd be more of a flatter plane, probably. Difficult to really determine how a cone does like work in this kind. The tough thing about rendering is knowing what the heck you want to render, how you want to render, how light's supposed to bounce. I mean, if I did more studies, I could probably do this more often. I could probably solve this by just doing some more studies, like actually lab, dive into the difficulty of learning it. Well, I should just do that. Should just do that. Why do I always not, though? Probably because of ego, where I just don't want to face being, which is very like, I don't want to face the fact that most of my workflow has just been. I probably need to do a full out record of my workflow. I just go back, look at my Pip Studio Paint workflow, and kind of just realize, oh hey, you're not as fucking intelligent when it comes to this or this or this. And you could improve in this if you just bothered to sit in Clip Studio Paint, realize the settings that you actually do, and just figure out a way to feel satisfied using Clip Studio Paint. Yes. Well, at least I'm making progress on this. I did want to make a. Oh. I did want to make a Weasel key art too. Maybe I should just sketch it here. I got plenty of time. I don't have work tomorrow, so I probably could just sketch that, couldn't I? I'll think about it when I'm rendering these foxes. I mean, so far, so good with this. I'm not gonna do anything extreme. I feel like I'm kind of just wasting my time with some of these. Right now, I'm kind of just in a rush, just done with it. The eyes are still kind of at a problem. Also, he's missing his belt. they are supposed to be just general pirates. As to why they're both like, both like, there's both girl pirates and guy pirates. I think it's probably because I like Team Aqua. I think that's probably just it. Where I like how Team Aqua just has two like, you have like girl Team Aqua and Team Aqua. And it kind of like, it gives it a little bit more variety. You just have the general rocket grunt. But, they got female rockets and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is what it is with that. Make you a blue color, but then desaturate. Same color as the knife. Labo. I am liking Clip Studio's default gouache brush. Whoosh, gouache, 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 gish. I don't know. I am kind of liking it because it fills in color, but it doesn't feel like I'm helplessly like heading the line like I would with other, I guess, opacity brushes. I don't like opacity brushes that much because stuff like that where it's giving me like nothing at the tip because it's supposed to be opaque, like it's getting lighter as I draw lighter. I sometimes don't like it. And another thing that, kind of throws me off with digital painting is I can't paint like this sometimes where I sort of can. It's not as... it's alright. Yeah, I can do stuff like that. I can sort of do it, but I can't just paint on the side of my tablet. I have to be on the tip. That's one thing that does kind of annoy the shit out of me about painting on the tablet sometimes. I realize I still forget into the eyes. Rework the color. Yeah, the eyes, work the color. And like buff that contrast more. Yeah, you. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Of course, I'm kind of just working off of my own flawed art. But I think for now, I'll probably just let this one go. So I will at least clean this up. It probably doesn't even matter. Plus, if you look close at it, no one's gonna notice. But I'm gonna notice. I'm an insane person. Okay. So first, I'll get with this. so I probably could stand to add more flat colored teeth. That's a tough thing about, I guess, my grit brush, that I'm so used to and just working so gritty, messy. Everything kind of just looks amateurish sometimes. Just letting little specks of disgustingness go out. And that's probably the charm of my work, but I feel like it hinders my work sometimes. I don't know why I care so much about what. Well, I do know why. It's because I'm a fucking depressed loser. I probably constantly think of how much I'm doing wrong instead of actually focusing on what I actually do right. Which, it doesn't make sense, really. I am a normal person. Let's see, multiplies, great. Difference is more see it without losing it. So let's get to the box here. Shade. I think once I get this done, I'll probably do sketches of a weasel just for that. Because I know I'm not going to stream tomorrow because I'm either going to be meeting up with my programmer friend. It's going to be writing. That's basically what I've been doing the past, I'd say, several days, is just writing. And a lot of the writing that I've been doing is actual, like, deciding what the hell the levels should read. Because while it's on that flux of this is the content that I do actually want, a lot of what I'm currently doing is saying this is what it actually is. And I am looking at all my like piles of notes and I'm picking 4. Like, no more, no less, pick 4. Because the way I'm interested in building the gameplay is that at the beginning, Cole's gonna start, and I'm talking about Black Mass, but at the beginning, Cole's going to start with a default B button skill. And then as he goes to the other worlds and completes the actual, the conflict of that world and stuff like that, he's going to upgrade so that he'll be able to use those same spells, but then you'll have a command. So, you initially start with default B, and then you'll get the one that'll let you do forward B. And then you'll go to another area, get the one that will let you do down B. And that will work for every spell you have so far. You'll just unlock the down B command, or the forward B command, or the up B command. How that's gonna go. So that's the writing that I'm doing at the moment. Kind of just saying, these are the levels, this is the design that I'm nailing down. In addition to the stealth system that, has been suggested. And kind of just working with that and kind of just saying, all right, what kind of game mechanics would help bolster the stealth skills while not like bloating things out? So that's my personal writing task for now, just deciding this is what the levels are, and this is where Cole's gonna go to do stuff, and this is how it works in the context of everything else. And then, like, the actual storyline stuff will basically be episodic stuff, or at least individual stuff in the world, where Cole visits town, solves a problem of that town, and, you know, it's, now that I'm thinking about it, Paper Mario basically does that too, and I hadn't even realized that, because a lot of the, like, the main quest stuff in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door are very self-contained. Like, especially like the Twilight Town quest, where it's like, okay, Mario loses his body, solve the problem, dipshit. And everything's self-contained, like the events that happen in Twilight Town don't really affect like the events that happen in Petalburg or the Blitz Pit or anything like that. I guess until the end. But that's kind of like what I want to try to do. Is keep it self-contained and not like have the story so freaking broad and epic that I end up like kind of just falling off of it. And that's the rough gist of what I want to tackle for the actual proper story. So that's what I'm writing, and of course I'm going to be speaking with Adam on this as we work more on the gameplay, because right now we're still just working on the demo. Like, double focus on the demo. The broad stroke story will come as we go. And I'm not getting crazy focused on keeping it so concrete, really. So that's the plan, to speak. Okay. So far, stick with metal. Control S. Because I do not want to have this game big. Like, it's already been, I think it's now going 40 years working. I don't want to add enough, you know. Like, I want to be able to have a lot of stuff now just be like to plunk it in. That's how it goes. Like, I'd say the actual make the game function, or at least we're nearing the completion of that part. And now we're kind of just dealing with the bells and whistles thing. Now we're actually just adding, or at least I'm at, and figuring out the proper narrative stuff. Like, I'd say the gameplay stuff is finishing up as far as I know. Like, I know Adam's been working on Retreat. I think there were a few issues with the file compression and stuff like that, but you know, we'll talk about that at a later date. Okay, let's finish this. Because I'm kind of just putting it off as I go. I'll call you Light. Up. You. Brush am I using? There's one thing that I keep doing that's now screwing me, is that I got rid of my default brushes for my shortcut settings. That's way too... Yeah, that'll work. Oh, the shade. one thing that I'm personally happy about that, you know, I no longer even care if anyone else notices, but I'm gonna like pat myself on the back is I'm at least decently willing to make my characters fluffy. Like, I like making my furry characters just really fluffy. That is my personal favorite thing to do with most of these furries. Is I like to like really just fluff them up. That's kind of just one of those things I kind of just like do. And I probably don't. I'm not even super good at like making the fur look like fur, really, because I'm probably like doing a lot of the feathering badly. Feathering is probably amateurish. Like I look at other comic artists, and I feel like their feathering's miles above mine. I'm kind of like, this is cool, but I kind of feel like I could. I still feel. I think I feel satisfied with how I render fur and hair and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, I need to prove in aspects of that, but I think for what I want to do, I like, I like how I draw hair, basically. So that's kind of just one tiny way of kind of just complimenting myself. And you kind of do need to find something positive like about your work. Because otherwise you'll just end up feeling miserable all the time. And you'll end up like constantly hating your artwork. And you'll end up kind of just being just depressed all the time because you just never feel like you're hitting that mountain. And then once you hit the mountain, you'll want to learn how to fly because, the sky's up there, the moon's up. Why bother climbing if I know everyone else will find it impressive that I'm flying, And it's a very unhealthy way to live life. And I live my life like this. I feel like I'm just really insane when it comes to how I don't know, push myself. Feel like I'm doing perfectionistic things or I'm constantly chasing outside prey, shit like that, where that's not the point of doing art, but it's like that's the reason I do art. Like the only times I ever get attention is when I make art. Like I don't go up and talk to random strangers and say, hi, you wanna be friends? Maybe when I was a child or something. As an adult, that's literally how I start conversations. Is people chat with me. Like people see me sketching. They'll notice, hey, you're drawing and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do art. Then they, like scrape up the conversation with me. Then I struggle to explain, yes, I make comics. I haven't made it in 5 years. I do need to. I've been making a zine. Now, it's kind of a downer that most of my streams have kind of just been insecurity streams. Where I kind of feel like I'm this sad sack of a mother. But I kind of just feel like that's kind of just typical. You kind of just there, you're meditating, pondering in real life, thinking about your day, thinking about what right, thinking about what you're doing wrong, and kind of just wondering next. One thing that I also am liking about this piece specifically is that the foxes at least have different shades of orange, even when you like get rid of the fog and stuff. They each have a distinct enough shade of to where they look different. This fox would probably be more of a they'd probably modify that to be that fox in the back would probably be maybe a little brownisher. Yeah, I'd probably just work that some more. Perhaps something like yeah, just looking at this. Like it's kind of looking like, let's see, shade spec. I want his fur to be brown. Let's get got like staring at my third monitor. Let me see this without the walking. Push this more. That. Making sort of works. Half decent. I also realized that give this guys so far so good. I also realized that the knife is still not colored. How did I miss half this stuff? Honestly. There's a lot of stuff that I missed with coloring the background. I think because the background foxes wasn't like fretting too hard about getting it, but still one of those things where I keep not putting enough effort and love into their location and stuff like that. This is supposed to be on a beach. I'm not really thinking too hard about where they're supposed to be overall. Because it is supposed to be more of a foggy beach. It's supposed to be a bit haunted. That's the basic background of how it's supposed to look. And I kind of don't put enough I don't put enough effort in making this look really I also realized I pretty much just overcolored this. Yeah, well, this will work. This will stick out just. As you have purple nails, because it sticks out, and I'm in improvise mode where I'm kind of just figuring out what the heck I actually want to do with myself. Okay. And also kind of just figuring out, yeah, I'm just going to have most of the lighting just be on. Because this overall just gives all a distinct. And also, this is another annoying that drives me batty. Constantly switching the size of my brush instead of the brush sizes that I have. With And I think it's also that I'm always constantly unsatisfied with how much this goes over my line. Like I never feel like it's as precise as I want it to be. Ugh, ugh. Blah. All right, man. It just needs it. Let's go. Just let it go. To make it fun, so no one knows. I've been harassing this for too long. Control S. Back. Man, I hate this chair. Uh, kind of just meditating. So, take a sway while I observe this drawing. And you can observe the strong as well. I mean, so far, so good. It's looking all right. Spears. Okay. It's just, that one. Just still not shaded. It probably would be beneficial for just everything. Soft shading. Ugh. Sorry about that. Pondering this. Yeah, one thing that I will say is like I'm forcing myself to actually engage with this drawing instead of just working on it and being unwilling to touch it because I hate the in between suck part of working my digital. And maybe that's probably what I really need is I actually really need to take time away from this drawing in order to know what the heck I want to do with it. Because that's probably, that's a lot of the, I guess the pro tips they say is take a break from it. You don't have to finish it in 2 seconds. Just take some time to kind of just analyze the drawing and stuff like, yeah, but I feel like I my time sometimes because if it's not immediately clicking, I feel like I'm losing time on it. Why is that? I'm kind of just overzealous, I just like it, even though I don't a lot of stuff to warrant it. And my art's worth paying for. Make these nameless, characterless characters Like, yeah, pay me for these comic book characters. No comics. Yeah, that's basically why I kind of just why I fucking suck. Yeah, I'm gonna shit on myself. Fuck this. I am gonna shit on myself for not really understanding that, hey, you're supposed to make this interesting and pitch this into the world, and you're absolutely dropping the ball because you're a stupid shit. So, this is why it's you. And you probably think, oh, I would never talk like this to my friends. I absolutely would. Mostly because we're a bunch of like fucking ball breakers. We like to insult each other all the damn time. But then again, it is hurtful. Don't go so far that we're hurtful to me. Let's do how to point that. But it's like, I don't see myself as having an inner critic and more of just an inner Gordon Ramsay. Where, Gordon Ramsay, he will be nicer to people who, have never cooked before, because he's trying to get people into the joy of cooking. But when he's dealing with people who actually own restaurants and are supposedly supposed to be experts in their fields, he gets in their faces because you're supposed to know better. You're absolutely gonna kill people like this. So that's something that a lot of people tend to miss with, I guess, Gordon Ramsay is he yells less for, shock value. Like, he's not supposed to be Simon Cowell type person, even though Simon Cowell is a completely different type of, but in terms of, I guess, being the critical Brit, and this is a massive reference to those who actually know, like, in terms of like being something like that. Gordon Ramsay, well, one, he's Scottish, I think Gordon Ramsay is actually Scottish. I can't tell his accent, but I think he's actually Scottish than British. I don't know my UK isms, and truth be told, I kinda don't care. I mean, I should care. I shouldn't be that much of an asshole, but it's like, whatever. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay. So, I have an inner Gordon Ramsay. It's mostly because, at the end of the day, I should know better. I should know my stuff better. And most times I just don't feel like I know better, and so I just get on my own case about it. That's also just a thing. I set unreasonable expectations because I need to meet them in order to just feel better, or not even better, just default. Like, you know how I guess some athletes are such perfectionists where it's like, oh, I'm not achieving things to feel good. I'm achieving things to not feel bad. And that's kind of just in my vote, where I feel more bad and I feel more like I'm getting relieved when I actually like do well on a test, or I get a reward and stuff like that, where it's like I'm constantly feeling this down thing, and when I finally get the positive thing, it's never woohoo, it's more, oh, okay. It's like that. It's more of a pressure off my back than actual, I guess, elation. So that's kind of just one of those little psychological that absolutely harms me. most times is I constantly feel like I am not as good as I'd like to be. Yeah. Let's see. Add more here. It's like a color. No, that's not the right way the plane's supposed to go. Because the light's probably here. This. And then contract this. Man, it's supposed to like go in. And then it's supposed to right. Oh yeah, still haven't drawn these other boxes. Bleh. What? Came out. Like, completely. Getting myself. Okay. contrast. Some lighter. Right. Nothing too crazy, just something like this. Something like subtle highlight. I mean, so far so good. Control S. Let's see. I could probably bolster that. Let's see. Sure. I can answer this contract. Go as light as I can. Bucket, go to 1. Yes. I think this is as shiny as I can get it. Like a precise. Now, actually, this would be better if it was just the frickin' rest. Got it. Got it. We're just gonna go as possible. Now, kind of just at this point where I need to just make these points distinct. I just get little details that stand out more. Okay. So far, so good with this. I think right now I need to work these shadows. These shadows look like trash. so far so good with this. These shadows need completely burnt. Ah, I get it. Okay, we're just gonna complete. Cast shadow. And what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna do some like actually gonna see if we can't find some more ways to kind of tackle this. I know there was like a dust. There was a dust there's a dust brush here. Where was it? Uh, the dust sheet. I'm actually gonna do this called the Ryan dust shader. And put in my default brushes. Put into sketches with my wide pencils. I do want it to be like multiply. Oops. Okay. This is starting to look pretty decent. I like. And let's see. Specks of dust. This will. Disgusting. Yeah, this needs a cast shadow. Scout. I don't want the shadows to just be intrusive, you know? Okay. Next, see if I can add a bit of cloud to this, which is a cloudy brush. I need something just fucking. My effects brush has something. Right. First, straight airbrush I can. Uh, I used to have a Clipsio. In Procreate I used Cloud. I lost my iPad, so I kind of don't really have a Cloud. This could work. Even working. FG. You're playing, right? Oh, I know what's up. What? Oh yeah, I know what's up. It's Racer tool. I also realized my Castlevania music ran out, which is insanity. Yeah, well. Nice. Hopefully that's better. If not, whatever. Now I need to continue figuring out why this ain't giving me this thing. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I just need to just draw the damn clouds myself. I'll probably just do that instead. Just draw the frickin' clouds yourself. This is an okay effect. I like that it like covers the feet so much. Like knock you down a bit. Then use layers to kind of just layers. Bolster the lighting more. Knock it down just a wee bit. Then add fog 2. Maybe it's too overwhelming. I feel like the front's just way too intrusive. Sometimes I kind of like feel like, does this affect too much? You want to at least break up the trees some more. May have one that's like full out white. You can barely see clouds. This chart square is actually a pretty decent cloud brush. So probably like keep this in my, my repertoire. Yeah. It looks decent actually. It's a way to kind of just push the atmosphere better. I'm kind of like, oh hey, painted animation background. That's gonna be real fucking intelligent. I also feel like I'm kind of just covering ash shadows too much. Like the character lighting's too distinct. for the cast shadows. Also, I feel like this is still too, like, this background fox is still way too overwhelmed. I'm gonna see if I can knock this down more. Want this to, show that, there's some stuff kind of just blending away. Alright. This is looking now less like I'm covering things up and more like fucking atmospheric perspective. I'll probably like crank this down. So far, so good. Down just a wee bit. Bump this out just a bit. Yeah, well, it kind of looks all right. It's looking half decent. I'll save this, give it a fast save. Hey, you know what? I'll sleep on this. I'll step away from this and just see, of course, be just as perfectionistic about this. Of course, I should be better about it, but I mean, it's done enough. I could probably just export call you final. Yep. And that'll take like forever to save. Yep. I mean, I'd say I'm done enough. I could stick a fork in this. This was an okay stream. I mean, the tutorial kind of just went to the pits, but maybe that's just me. I need to ask Adam questions. In fact, I'll probably come back to this another time. But I think I'm not just going to do tutorials, because there's still so much I gotta learn, so I think I'll just come back to tutorials at a better time when I'm... I probably should just skip out tutorials and more just focus on the stuff that I actually can do. Video game stuff, that needs to get done. I should prioritize the video game stuff. I think for now I'm going to be working more on just pixel art on these streams. Just get back to doing pixel art stuff instead of just drawing, because I don't know. I am blech. I am feeling weird about these streams sometimes. Because I don't even know how much I truly enjoy streaming. Maybe I need a long break. I take too many breaks. Yeah, well. I'll come back to this another day and see you next time. Have a nice day.